Welcome to Joy for the Journey, the podcast where we explore the winding paths of purpose, faith, and joy. I'm your host, Joy, and I'm thrilled to embark on this transformative journey with you. Are you a woman seeking more than just existence and a soul yearning for fulfillment, purpose, and unwavering joy? Well, you're not alone. In this sacred space, we'll navigate the highs and lows, the doubts and triumphs, and the divine whispers guiding us toward our true calling. Through candid conversations, inspiring stories, and practical insights, Joy for the Journey is your compass, your confidant, and your catalyst for embracing the abundant life God intends for you. So if you're ready to reclaim your joy, renew your hope, and rediscover the woman God created you to be, join me on this adventure. Let's walk together step by step towards a life filled with purpose, passion, and unbridled joy. This is Joy for the Journey. Welcome aboard. Hey, and welcome to Joy for the Journey. I'm Joy Jackson, and I am excited once again to be here with you. And I want to thank you, as always, for tuning in to the Joy for the Journey podcast. I don't take it lightly that you're spending this time with me, and I never want to miss the opportunity to say thank you. And I'm writing these, and I'm recording these as they happen. So you've heard me say it. If this is your first one, welcome. I'm recording these as they go. I am not batch recording these, and I'm going to always share the intimate stories and what's happening in my life with you. So today I had lunch with a new partner, and we were talking, and she asked me to help her write some vision training, some vision workshops, and actually facilitate some vision training for the women in her community. And the more and more we talked about it, I'm like, oh, I love that. I love vision. You know I love vision. If you follow me, you know how important I believe vision is. But then I realized vision is like one of the major steps that happens later. In order to really understand your vision, you got to start at the basics. And the basics are really about understanding your purpose, understanding your mission in life, and then also understanding your values. And so I realized that we've gone down a lot of paths, and just in general, let's be honest. January, there are vision board parties all over the world. You can go on Amazon, you can buy everything you need to make a vision board and all of those great things. But the truth of the matter is vision is great, but if you don't know why you exist, if you don't know why you were put on this earth, then your future of where you're going, you can't even imagine because you don't even know where you're starting. So you got to be able to know where you are and where you started in order to get to where God wants you to be. So I've decided to take this episode and go all the way back to the basics. So let's talk mission. You all remember Mission Impossible, dun, 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 dun. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Well, let me tell you, it's kind of the same thing when you're walking with God. You have a mission and you get to choose to accept it. Now, let me warn you that the minute that you decide to accept this mission, the minute that you decide to walk in the way that God has for you, it does not mean that all of the things in your life are going to go well. In fact, you'll probably feel like you're hanging off a cliff like Tom Cruise. You'll probably feel like you're in a plane all by yourself and the engine has stopped like Tom Cruise. But it is the most rewarding and beneficial ride that you could ever have in your life. And so I want you to really grasp the importance of your mission. You got to know why you're here. You've got to know your focus. You've got to have direction. And all of that comes from a mission. And I know you see companies have missions all the time. Every company that you pretty much have been exposed to has a mission statement. For example, Google's mission statement is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Apple's mission statement is to bring the best user experience to customers through innovative hardware, software, and services. And here's one I know we can all relate to. Spank's mission statement is to help women feel great about themselves and their potential. So let me ask you, what's your mission? And if you don't know, that's okay, because it's not something we wake up thinking about, but it is something that we should consider each and every day of our life. Because the truth is, in order to really walk out and fulfill the purpose that God has for you, you've got to identify your mission. So let's take a look at what mission is so that we can start preparing our mission right now, today. So mission can be defined as a statement that outlines your core purpose and focus. It pretty much serves as the guiding principle that directs actions, decisions, and strategies. So I know most of you are going to say at this point, okay, Joy, mission kind of sounds a little bit like purpose. So help me understand what the difference is between the two, because many episodes ago, you talked about I needed purpose. And so here I am, Joy, trying to figure out my purpose. And now you've thrown a wrench in it, talking about I now need to focus on mission. Yep, it's all of that. But don't worry. The goal for our time together in this episode is to really clearly understand why you need a mission statement, how it differs from purpose. And then I'm going to give you some tips and some strategies on how to create your mission. So let's compare purpose and mission. So I'm going to start with purpose. So purpose is really like the fundamental reason that you exist. So it's like the core essence of who you are. Remember, I talked about that many moons ago, that it is the essence of who you are. It is your foundation. It is what's inside of you. It's not just who you are. It's what you are. It's how you show up. It's what you believe. It's everything that makes you you. Mission, on the other hand, is going to be specific. And usually it's going to be actionable. And it's usually going to answer the question, how? Purpose answers why. So that's the first part. So if I were to compare the two as it relates to my life, my purpose to lead people to Christ. That's my purpose. My entire purpose in this life is to lead people to Christ. My mission is to encourage women to unleash the power within and walk in their God-given purpose. Now I'm going to tell you a secret. If you haven't figured it out, that's the same mission for Speaking of Joy. The beauty of the work that I do is I am able to live out my personal mission every day in my business. That's a beautiful thing. And even if that's not you, even if you are in a job where you don't get to live out your mission every day in that capacity, your mission is what's going to lead you into the work that you do. Your mission is going to be the reason that you are excited about the work you do. Your purpose is why you're there, and that's the overarching understanding of the why. But your mission is what's going to fuel you. It's the guiding principles that you're going to have to do the work that you do. Another difference between the two is that purpose is typically going to be broad and it's going to last. Very seldom, I'll pretty much say never, will your purpose change. These are not your goals. These are not your motivations. These are truly the answers to why you exist. And if we're really Christian women, somewhere in our purpose, it's got to go back to God because you were created for God in his image, to live this earth, to have dominion, to worship him. So if we're really being honest, somewhere in your purpose, you got to tie God into it. But with a mission, the focus again is specific and action oriented, but it's going to detail activities and approaches that you're going to use to fulfill your purpose. So my purpose is winning people to Christ, and my mission is specific because now I'm talking about women. I'm still leading them to Christ, but I want them to have their God-given purpose revealed. You see the difference? And usually in my mission, in your mission, you're going to have some type of target audience or some type of understanding of the who. And then not only are you going to have the who, you're going to have whatever the outcome is going to be. So the focus is different because now when I talk about mission, the focus becomes more specific. The focus now becomes the who and the what is going to happen. And then another part that is really important when we compare the two is to really, this is going to sound funny considering I just gave you all this information, is don't get caught up in the two. The purpose is the why. The mission is the how and the who. Simplest way to put it. So don't scratch your head and like, oh my gosh, Joy, this is way too much. The mission is the motivator. The purpose is the passion. Oh, that was pretty good. The mission is the motivator though. So what is motivating you to do the work that you're doing? That's how you identify your mission. And so now I'm sure you're like, okay, Joy, that's a lot. I just really grasped purpose and now I got to have a mission. So why do I really need a mission statement? And the truth is, the reason you need a mission statement is because it's going to help you provide the clarity and the direction that you need. Your mission statement is going to help you understand your values, your purpose, and it's going to help you identify what you're trying to do. So if you don't have a mission, then you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, then how do you know when you're doing it? And even more, if you don't know what you're doing, how do you know when it's done? So that's the purpose of mission. The purpose of mission is to know what you're doing, who you're doing it for, why you're doing it, and what you hope for it to accomplish. It becomes easier to make decisions, to pursue your goals when you have a mission. I argue that anyone who writes goals should have a mission because it's hard to write goals and measure your success and achievement against nothing. And I believe that most of us, the reason we're not always successful with our goals is because we've written these goals, but we haven't grounded them in anything. And so your mission becomes the grounding. It becomes the pursuit. It becomes the measuring tool. And ultimately, it shows how you plan to create the life that embodies your values, the life that you want. And if I ask you the life that you want, I'm sure you can define it with no problem. I'm sure you can tell me exactly what it is you desire. So the question then becomes, how do I get there? What do I do? What do I create in order to make it happen? And so I'm going to tell you some quick questions that you can ask yourself at any time to begin to create your mission statement. The first thing you want to do is identify what's important to you. Like truly what's important to you. And I'll tell you that what's important to you may not be important to someone else. So as you're doing this work, do it for yourself. So just think about it. What's important to you? Is it family? Is it success? Is it health? Is it wellness? Is it peace? Is it joy? But really identify what's important to you. And when you're identifying what's important to you, don't just stop with the surface things or superficial things. Really dig down into, if I say that I can have these things in my hand for the rest of my life, what would they be? And then I want you to identify your biggest personal goals. What are some real life goals you have? I mean, real goals, like big, audacious goals, What are your big, audacious goals? But not goals from a perspective of things you want to achieve or attain, but really your personal goals. What's important to you that at the end of the day, you're like, this is all that really matters. Then I want you to think about the best version of yourself. What is she doing? How is she living? What is she contributing? What is around her? The best version of yourself. Close your eyes. Well, if you're driving, don't. But when you get a moment, really think about the best version of yourself. Because I'll tell you, the best version of myself has peace. The best version of myself can rest. The best version of myself finds joy in the smallest thing. And the best version of myself is really and truly speaking the word of God. And not in a super standing in the pulpit kind of way, but in a way that's what I'm doing now. Just easy, relatable, understandable, and light and joyous. That's the best version of myself. And then the last thing, identify the legacy you want to leave. It is not worth living if you don't leave anything behind. And I'm not just talking money. I'm not just talking those types of things. I'm talking something that's substantial and something that will truly change the lives of others. That's a real legacy. The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. It's not all money. And it doesn't help that you've spent your life, you got the bag, you did all of those things, but at the end of the day, there is nothing that you can show for it by way of legacy. You've worked hard, you've gotten and climbed the corporate ladder, but at the end of the day, what do you really have to show for it? And if you answer those questions, that begins the framework of your mission statement. So let me give you a quick strategy that I use, that I encourage all of my clients to use when creating a mission statement. Very simple. It's one statement. Now, you can make it as deep as you want. You can add additional information. You can talk about how you're going to do it. But this is a very simple way to do it. Okay, here it is. 2, 4 by 2. Okay, that's how it is. 2, 4 by 2. So 2, write the action. 4, write the audience. By, write what you're going to do. 2, the desired results. So 2, action. 4, audience. By, what you're going to do. 2, get a desired result. So what do you mean, Joy? My mission is 2. The action is encourage women. So I combine the two. So 2, encourage women. That's my audience. 2, unleash the power within and walk in their God-given purpose. So I played with the prepositions, but it's the same concept. I want to do this for these people by doing this to achieve this. That's it. That's a very simple way to create your mission statement. So I'm going to challenge you to do that. I'm going to challenge you to sit and create your mission statement. And here's the cool thing about mission statements and mission. Whereas your purpose doesn't change, your mission might. It's something that can breathe and change over time because you evolve, you grow, you become a different human being, a different person, a different season of your life So your mission may change. Now your purpose probably won't, but your mission may change. You may find that what's important to you today may not be important to you years from now. And the beauty is because it's yours, you can change it. Because it's yours, you can rewrite it. Because it's yours, you could toss it out of the window and start all over again. It's your mission statement. And it's something that you can choose to accept or reject. Now, the benefits of accepting and walking in your mission and choosing a mission statement and living out your mission is for that woman who's like, I just am so frustrated. I don't feel fulfilled. I always say, women can walk around being full but not fulfilled. If you're a woman like that, you're like, I don't have it left to give. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I don't know why. I just don't feel motivated. It's probably because you're running and running and running with no destination and with no purpose. You're just running. Kind of like Forrest Gump. Remember? He was running and people were like, well, why are you running? He was like, I don't know. And he was just running. And then one day he ran to one end, to the other end, and then he just stopped. And his response was, I think I'll go home now, because he had done all he could do and there was nothing left. I don't want that for you. So finding your mission can realign your heart. It can realign your goals. It can realign your thoughts. It can realign your motivations. It can realign your joy. I'm going to keep talking about joy, right? It can realign those things for you. So really identify your mission. And if you choose not to accept this mission and you choose not to define your mission, then you're going to see yourself in the same rut over and over and over again. And I know that's not what you want, friend. That's not what I want for you. I want you to find joy. I want you to love the life you're living. And not just some days, not just when certain things go well, but truly every single day of your life, even in the bad times. You can love the life you live because you know that the life you live has a bigger purpose. The life you live, the things you experience, the good and the bad are all a part of a bigger plan. And when you understand and have a mission, that plan becomes clearer. That plan becomes motivation. That plan becomes what gets you moving. And I want that for you. So write your mission statement. And if you don't like my philosophy on mission statements, Google it, girl. There's a ton of ways to write a mission statement. But do not let the rest of this day go by without creating a mission statement. And then here's what I tell people to do. Anytime you do reflective work with me, I'll tell people, write it down and walk away from it. It does not have to be perfect. This is not going on a billboard. This is really who you are. And so it's for you. It's not for you to broadcast unless you want to. It's for you. So take your time with it. So write it, walk away from it. Pray about it. Sit with it. In your mornings, if you're meditating, in your evenings, if you're just walking around the block, start to think about it. And then come back to it, cross out some stuff and draw some other stuff and think about it some more and then walk away from it. The way that you'll know that your mission has hit is when you can say it without thinking. When I first started writing my mission statement, my personal mission statement, I couldn't get it out. I was like, I'm helping women and I'm going to change their lives and I'm going to figure it out. And then I was in leadership and I'm going to do leadership. I was all over the place. But the more and more I sat with it, the more and more I realized that my goal is to encourage you to walk in purpose. And not just to walk in purpose, but to unleash your power. Imagine what would happen if every woman who hears this podcast can unleash her power. We would change the world. And that's my mission. When it's all said and done, unleashing the power, you walking in your purpose, is for us to truly reflect God's love and change the world. So I challenge you, friend, to write your mission. And then you know what I challenge you to do after you write it? Send it to me. Send it to me at joy@speakingofjoy.com. I want to see it. I want to know what it is because I want to support you along your journey. So hang on. This is just the beginning. We're talking mission. We're going to talk vision. We're going to talk values. We're going to put some things in place over the next couple of episodes to truly prepare you so that you will have joy for the journey. I'll talk to you soon. Welcome to Joy for the Journey, the podcast where we explore the winding paths of purpose, faith, and joy. I'm your host, Joy, and I'm thrilled to embark on this transformative journey with you. Are you a woman seeking more than just existence and a soul yearning for fulfillment, purpose, and unwavering joy? Well, you're not alone. In this sacred space, we'll navigate the highs and lows, the doubts and triumphs, and the divine whispers guiding us toward our true calling. Through candid conversations, inspiring stories, and practical insights, Joy for the Journey is your compass, your confidant, and your catalyst for embracing the abundant life God intends for you. So if you're ready to reclaim your joy, renew your hope, and rediscover the woman God created you to be, join me on this adventure. Let's walk together step by step towards a life filled with purpose, passion, and unbridled joy. This is Joy for the Journey. Welcome aboard.